All right. Are you ready to go?
Oh, my butt. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So this will be a special episode, an on-the-road episode. We'll call it, I don't know, 40, 50, 252.1 maybe. I don't know, HBL Fest 2016.
Yeah, why would it be a 0.1?
Because that way it'll fit in between 252 and episode 253.
Stop being fancy.
I stopped being fancy a long time ago.
Oh no, my voice is doing that thing again.
I'm not hearing it, or at least I didn't hear it last time.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to start singing some of Finn's songs.
All right.
I was wrong song.
I was wrong. Was I wrong? No. Yes. Yes.
All right. Let's get to it. We are going to talk about the HBL CthulhuCon and
HBAL?
the HP Lovecraft Film Festival in San Pedro.
Yeah. And you also said it's an on-the-road episode, but the sad thing about that was that we didn't really record anything when we were on the road, except for one quick little
snippet.
2 minutes.
Well, you got me maybe not even 2 minutes. You know what? You got me all self-conscious about this. Not wanting to repeat, stuff that we did last year or whatever. So, we barely took any photos, and we, for people that aren't there, maybe it's kind of boring hearing about this stuff. Well, with the exception of the movies.
Well, we didn't take many photos. Well, photos don't have anything to do with the podcast, right?
Well, I always try to include them with.
Well, I have them. I took photos.
You did get a photo? Okay.
Yeah.
We got a few.
What? You know this already, so I'm not telling you this, but for everyone else, I was not feeling good that day.
Yeah.
That put a serious damper on our really cool and fun annual film festival. I wasn't totally wanting to be there.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do, I wait all year for this thing to come around. Been super happy and excited to go. And then it was like, no, you're going to be sick for the day. I was actually sick for a whole week. That was the day, the festival fell right in between of me being sick. I was sick 3 or 4 days before it. I was sick 3 or 4 days after it. My best day was the day we went, thank goodness. So
thank goodness.
It really could have been a lot worse.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that was kind of horrible. But in spite of it all, we had a good time. I had fun. As much fun as I could have had. They did some things different this time, which...
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to talk about that at all. Maybe we don't. Maybe we should just talk about the films. Maybe
we'll just stick to the films and go with that. Okay. So we were talking about the films. You had said that we'd only talk about our favorite ones, maybe. But
that was just an idea.
Well, here's my thing. I love all these movies.
Okay.
I love all of them. Even if I didn't like them, I love them.
Okay.
Yeah?
Well, I'm prepared to discuss each and every one of them. So
okay.
I was just afraid, a lot of times these are not available.
Mm-hmm.
So people out there who are listening, if we talk about one that's particularly cool that we really enjoyed, we can't always tell people where to watch it because they're not available. So I don't want that to be super lame.
Gotcha.
I don't want to listen to a podcast and have someone tell me how awesome something was, and they're like,
no chance of actually seeing it yourself and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, or we'll say last year at least, more of the movies were available online, and there were other outlets that you could see these. I know for the film festivals, they like to have premiere events. They like to have them available for the first time in, at the festival and so on.
Right.
Now that some of them have been out there, perhaps you can find them on Vimeo or other outlets. And I'm going to look at those and try to include those in the show notes.
Well, yes, we'll try to find as many of them as we can, right?
Absolutely, yes. And we haven't even really done our intro yet.
No.
Welcome to the Vices in Terrible 30 Minutes to Kill podcast.
You are listening to the Vices and Teramo Show, 30 Minutes to Kill, more or less. A horror entertainment podcast featuring horror, suspense, and psychological thrillers. This week's episode is a special review of the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival from San Pedro,
California.
Yes.
Because that's where we are.
Thank you for that.
Some people might not know where we are.
They maybe don't. Maybe they're tuning in for the very first time, and this is going to be their first exposure to this.
Maybe.
And for that, I'm sorry, but thanks for sticking around anyhow.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, if this is the first time you're listening to us, please don't judge us by this episode. Pick one that pick last week's or wait and try next week's.
All right.
We've got 200 some odd ones to choose from.
Not all of them are available. You can always contact me if you're missing old shows. But anyhow, before we get into any other shenanigans, I want to throw out a quick mention for Lonely Bob out there, who listened to the last podcast and took our advice and checked out Devil's Pass. So now that I've got that out of the way, let's get right into some of the movies that we saw.
Okay, some of them or all of them?
All of them.
Yes. Are we doing them in order?
Yes, let's try to do them in the order that we were presented them.
Okay, you
Two blocks of short films. So let's talk about the movies that we saw. They were divided into two blocks. We'll start with short block 1.
Okay. I guess I'm in charge of...
Yeah, because I can't even pronounce that first name. I know it starts with a D.
Well, it looks like Derleth.
Derleth's Brain?
Derleth's Brain.
Yeah.
It says, why did August Derleth create an alternate elder sign to H.P. Lovecraft's design? That's the synopsis.
That's the synopsis of it.
A little weak. What did you think of that one?
Well, funny you should use the phrase a little weak. You know what? There were elements that I liked about it.
Okay.
But it was maybe a little bit too much of a non sequitur for me.
Okay.
It combined special effects.
Yes.
With I don't even know how to describe it really. With a very loose narrative.
Okay.
You were left to maybe fill in and
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
maybe the synopsis of why did August Derleth create an alternate elder sign to H.P. Lovecraft's design?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's an appropriate description. Kind of leaves you with a question.
Kind of leaves you wondering exactly why they did that. It's funny because I'm looking at the image actually on the webpage, and I see the...
Oh, they have a webpage for this movie?
Not for this movie. I'm looking at the one for the film festival, but the one that they chose to display there.
Yes.
And that image reminds me of the actual Call of Cthulhu. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe it was the 3rd edition or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a guy, a doctor with a very, very thick, round pair of glasses.
Okay.
That's just kind of crazy, and he's sitting there with a straight razor.
So you're going to put this, the link to this page in the show notes.
This page will definitely be in the
Yes.
notes for sure.
Because that has a picture and a little blurb about
just has
each
a
of
picture,
the
and
short
it just
films?
says the synopsis that you just read, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So there you go.
Took place in Arkham, Massachusetts. It ends with a little bit of a ritual with some interesting effects.
Okay.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I have a lot. I don't know.
You don't have a lot to add to that?
I guess they were summoning Lovecraft there at the end. You get to see his face.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
Maybe, maybe it was all a little too literal. Or maybe not literal enough.
Maybe. I
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
Yes.
You couldn't pronounce Derleth. Here, try pronouncing this next one.
Guaylilian? Wow.
Okay. This one is called the Guailian.
Okay, there you go.
Guailian?
Sure.
Guilian? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Look at the show notes and you can see the correct spelling and make up your own pronunciation.
Pronounce it for yourself, yes. Well, it's always hard when it's a name of something or, unless this is something that, that I've just not come across. Maybe this is really something.
This was a short one from the UK. And
you want to read the synopsis?
Sure.
Okay.
Since it's all relatively small words that I can handle.
Yeah.
A pair of travelers find themselves lost and confronted by an evil presence in a remote part of the Welsh countryside.
Oh, interesting. Mine says the English countryside.
Really? Okay.
There is a difference.
There is.
So the Guailian or the Gwillian is this evil presence, I guess?
I guess, or was it the stones that they come across?
I don't know. I'm actually looking. I'm just like punching it in really quick here to see.
Punch it out.
I do punch it in, punch it out. I do like learning new things, and if this is a thing, well, there you go. We're learning a Welsh word here.
Okay.
Gwillian or Gwylian, plural noun form of the singular gwyl, meaning twilight or gloaming, is a Welsh word with a wide range of possible meanings, including ghosts, spirits, and night wanderers, human or supernatural, or up to no good, or outlaws of the wild.
Really? Okay.
Gwylian is only one of a number of words with these or similar meanings in Welsh. So anyone we do have listeners from the UK in and around all of those areas and islands, and we probably sound really stupid to them right now.
Probably so.
But we learned something new.
Yay.
So next time we encounter this, we won't be dumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can't guarantee we won't be dumb, but anyhow.
One account of a species of Gwylian, I'm sorry, somebody please correct me, refers to them as ugly female spirits wearing ash-colored clothing and an oblong four-pointed hat, carrying a pot in one hand. I'm picturing a classic witch-like figure.
Yeah, I was almost thinking of Baba Yaga for a minute, but she floats around in a almost at a chamber pot. I mean, in a kettle. Never mind.
A kettle.
Yes.
They also are known by their disturbing laughter and their cries of WB. Wib?
Okay.
Interesting.
Well,
this I'm going to look more into this.
Okay. So for all that, let's get back to the 7-minute movie we saw.
I'm all intrigued now.
Well, I was intrigued when we saw the movie, and my largest complaint that comes from this one is that it wasn't long enough.
Well, yes, it
seemed just got into.
Yeah, it ended as soon as it started.
Yes.
We have two hikers. Hikers around here, you say hiker and you put them on mountains. They weren't in the mountains because they were over there in the UK. Mm-hmm. They were in a big, wide open, rolling hills, grassy, wide open space, not a lot of trees.
Mm-hmm.
It's a man and a woman, and the man is very excited, and he's saying, they're looking for this, as he called it, a sacred site.
Mm-hmm.
He said it will energize you, and she's just over it. It's like, we're lost. We've been walking. What are we doing? They come across a ring of stones, and it's when he enters the ring of stones that the crazy stuff starts to happen. But as soon as it happens, it's the end.
Right.
So, yeah, I would have loved to see more.
Absolutely. Definitely a good start. It reminded me of a couple of different things. One of them, which I've talked about before on the podcast, but it's the Stephen King story N, and that's just the letter N, period, because it's taken from a psychiatrist's notes, and he actually never names the patient.
Okay.